Lorelei is the first Elite Four member and her specialty is Ice-type Pokemon. Ice types in Fire Red are very strong like Jynx, Cloyster, Dewgong, Lapras and Articuno. So let's just use only Ice-type Pokemon in this Pokemon challenge. Here are the rules. The early game should be fine, but the first new Pokemon is in the second half of the game. But let's begin. Since no Ice type is available before the first gym, I use a universal Pokemon randomizer to change Bulbasaur to Jynx. That way the rival has a Charizard and most likely the single hardest Pokemon to beat. And I chose Jynx because it is only one of 3 Pokemon who has the Ice type from the beginning, and I didn't want to start out with an Articuno. Just for fun, I check out how Brock is doing. At level 6, it should either be super easy or impossible. Geodude is first and Lovely Kiss puts it to sleep. 2 Powder Snow and it's done. Very strong start, maybe I can do it. Brock's Ace Onix is here and it is faster, using Rock Tomb and easily KO from full HP. Yeah, it's not doable without very good luck, so let's level up a bit. I beat up all the Bugcatcher in Viridian Forest and try again at level 10, going for the same strategy. Maybe it works out now. First Geodude, I use Lovely Kiss again and then continue with Powder Snow. It KOs in one hit, so sleep wasn't necessary. Last is Brock's Ace and I am faster now, using Lovely Kiss. Powder Snow does nearly KO, which is great, but Onix wakes up. Just to miss with Rock Tomb. I take the win and go for the KO. Rock is defeated, and it was quite easy to do. Having a move be super effective is very important to get an easy early game. At the end of Mount Moon I choose a fossil, but which one doesn't matter. Neither of them is an Ice type. Arriving at Cerulean City brings in always the tough choice between Rival or Misty. I think the Rival might be easier to do, so I try him first. Against Pidgeotto I have to use Lovely Kiss and then 2 Powder Snow to KO. Against Charmander first Lovely Kiss and then Mega Kick for a bit of damage. Charmander wakes up and shows why I need to rely on Lovely Kiss to even have a chance of beating his team. Metal Claw nearly destroyed me and the next Pokemon has the best move against me. Rattata is annoying for the quick attacks, while Jynx has no physical defense at all. Without Lovely Kiss, these battles were way too hard and I need several more levels to have a chance. Well, not against Abra. That one doesn't have a good move against me, and even if it did, I would be able to tank it quite nicely because Jynx is part psychic as well. The rival is defeated, the Nugget Bridge is now free to explore. Seeing the damage Jynx has to take each hit doesn't fill me with confidence for the next major battles. I'm at the house on Route 25 to receive the SSN ticket. While here I was talking to this cute little Clefairy to break the ice. But it turned out to be this Bill character and I ran away. With more experience points and a new move in Secret Power, I try Misty, the water gym leader in Cerulean City. Staryu isn't able to do a whole lot and goes down after 2 secret powers. Misty Starmie is last and that was a really stupid battle. I wanted to have Sleep Up to get free turns and receive little to no damage, but Misty's strategy was about the idea that I don't have enough power points to beat her ace. So she only used Recover to refill the HP. My goal was to get Starmie in range to get down via Mega Kick. That was a very risky approach because Mega Kick only has 5 PPs and misses a lot. But after the Super Potion and a long grind, I get it finally into range to KO with the last Mega Kick PP beating Starmie. Misty's out of Pokemon and a second badge is mine, demonstrating that ice is better than water. Arriving in Vermilion City is just one of those things I will never get bored with. First trading Spearow for Farfetch'd, then receiving the bike coupon, and finally arriving at the SSN. Here's the rival again and his team of very interesting Pokemon. First is Pidgeotto and I just wanted to see how much Powder Snow does. It one-hit KOs. That is very good. I get a level up as well, learning Ice Punch, a way better ice type attack. That's for sure. Now comes Chameleon and this battle was very bad. First Lovely Kiss to put it to sleep and then Mega Kick, a miss. Another Mega Kick and hits, but the Fire Lizard wakes up to use Smoke Screen. I stay the course and use more Mega Kicks, but they all miss. It was really frustrating to see Metal Claw not only hitting, but being a crit as well. I thought the battle is over now, but Jynx hits to KO. Next is Eradicate and instead of Quick Attack, it just takes the Ice Punch and goes down. Last is Kadabra and I use another Ice Punch. Not sure if Secret Power might have been better considering Kadabra's defense, but a KO is a KO. The rival is again defeated and moves out of the way for me to receive the HM01 cut for a nice little rub. That HM is so important, it allows me to challenge the next gym leader. Lieutenant Search is usually very easy to do, and this isn't any different. I am a bit overleveled for this battle, but I think even at a slightly lower level, this would be doable, even if I need to use Lovely Kiss instead. Static never triggered, which is really good because Raichu used Thunder Wave, but Cherry Berry was able to negate the issue, and after 4 Ice Punch in total, the team is defeated. Lieutenant Search is mostly quite easy, and this demonstrated it again. After the long and dark rock tunnel, I end up in Lavender Town, where this Pokemon Tower is. Inside waits the rival for me and we battle. With only one Pokemon, overleveling is way too easy even if optional battles are mostly skipped. And with that additional power, only Charmeleon and Gyarados could be an issue, so Lovely Kiss has to manage it. At this point, Ice Punch should deal way more damage than any normal type attack on Charmeleon. I later found out that Jynx can learn Water Pulse, and this battle would have been even easier to do, but it worked out fine. Execute and even Kadabra are down in 1 hit each. The rival is defeated, I can visit the Pokemon Tower, if not for those ghosts. Arriving in Celadon City is very refreshing. I know the game opens up now immensely. First getting the T, then HM Fly and of course the coin case for later. The T is especially important, not only grants it access to Saffron City, but also to Mr. Psychic who has the TM29 Psychic for me. Jynx does not learn any Psychic type damaging moves in this game on its own, so TM Psychic is very important to fill that gap. With Ice Punch and Psychic, Erika's not an issue at all. I went through the gym in one go, didn't even receive any damage in return. To be fair, Jynx is heavily overleveled. It gets all the experience since I only have one Pokemon in my team. It's not that long until I receive the next one, but until then I level up some more. Beating Sabrina is just necessary for later. One of the badges and one for the ability to use HM Strength later on. And deep inside the game corner is the Silph Scope. It's very much needed to climb on top of Pokemon Tower. To receive it, I have to beat Giovanni in battle, but Jynx is already so strong, there's basically no resistance. After reviewing the battle, I think Genghis-Khan would be able to win here with first Fake Out and then Mega Punch, but I never did any of those moves, so I get a free win here. Thanks Giovanni, I appreciate it. At the top of Pokemon Tower is Mr. Fuji. After talking to him and showing how strong my Jynx is, he decides to leave this place and gives me the Pokeflute for my troubles. I actually need this flute to wake up Snorlax just east of Vermilion City, to find a fisherman on the silent bridge. He has a Super Rod for me. I actually used this one in the last month, way more than I ever did back in the day. And Pallet Town is a bit of water to play in, or to use the Super Rod to find the next Pokemon for this run, Shelder. I actually like it. The only issue I usually have with the Shelder line is the one-sided nature of the stats. All points went to defense, but considering what it is, it makes sense. But actually, I can't use Shelder in battle, it's just a water type and not an ice type. That's a perfect opportunity to fly over to Celadon City and buy a water stone, which evolves Shelder into Cloyster, which does have the ice type. Luckily for me, it was already at a high enough level to have Aurora Beam. It's not as good as Ice Beam, but way cheaper. Anyway, down the cycling road to reach Fuchsia City and into the Safari Zone to find the HM for Surf. Even though Jynx can't use it, it is by far the strongest move I can have for Cloyster and more Pokemon to find later. While I'm here, I challenge Koga, the Psychic-type gym leader of Fuchsia City. The issue here is pretty obvious. My Jynx is too strong for Koga and has the best move against him as well, which is Psychic. Before starting the run, I didn't realize how strong Jynx really is. Any physical attack will bring it down, but if nobody is able to hit, I can just run through the teams. It is actually amazing. Koga is defeated after some Psychic uses. I can use Surf outside of battle now, and depending on how the next major battle goes, I might need to. Since Jynx got a lot of screen time already, I want to use Cloyster next. And before I can get a new Pokemon for my team, there's one major battle to do, the rival at Silph Co. I start with Cloyster against Pidgeot. Aurora Beam does a lot of damage and I think an Ice Beam would have KO'd in one go, but Pidgeot can't do anything here and goes down. Next is Execute and one Aurora Beam actually KOs, which was a bit surprising to me in a way. Now comes Erika, but it doesn't have any damage dealing moves besides Future Sight, and 2 Surfs KOs it, so everything worked out fine. Here's Gyarados, the most likely strongest Pokemon in this game, tanking Aurora Beam without any issues while hitting back, and Future Sight on top KOs my Cloyster. I have only Jynx left, and while Psychic is the best move I have, it is not enough to KO. But the second one is, and that ends Gyarados right here, right now. Last is Charizard, and let's be honest, without Lovely Kiss, this is not possible. I had to try before where Flamethrower KO'd from nearly full HP as well, so I had to go that route. The rival is defeated, and I am quite happy about it, because right behind him is a Silph Co employee who has a nice present for me, Lapras. This Pokemon is most likely the strongest ice type in the entire game, including a particular flying ice bird. The final boss of the Silph Co is most likely the rival, but technically it's Giovanni. His team is quite weak, and especially against my team. I thought about using Lapras here as level 25 even, but I feel like this is Cloyster's battle. Surf is the strongest move I have, and it's clearly enough to beat his team. While most Pokemon survive a hit, they can't really fight back, besides hitting with status moves. There's no damage involved. Cloyster is a physical tank, that's for sure. After Giovanni is defeated, the CEO of Silph Co is so happy I did it, he presents me with a Master Ball. I actually need this to catch one of the Pokemon left in the run. And that's Dewgong. Deep inside Seafoam Island are wild Dewgongs, which are part ice, while seals are not. So the Master Ball is very important for this one. It is quite difficult to catch. And the last Pokemon for this run to get is Articuno. And this is quite easy to catch, just throwing a ball and it is done. It is a legendary like Arcanine for example, so I may not use it after all. After arriving at Cinnabar Island and using all my vitamins on Dewgong, I thought why not battle Blaine now. Dewgong goes first and Surf easily KOs Growlithe, Blaine's first Pokemon. Next is Ponyta, and it is actually weaker than Growlithe, so it goes down as well. Rapidash however is a bit different. It survives a hit easily and can push a lot of damage back, but still, Dewgong comes out on top regardless. Last is Blaine's ace Arcanine, and that damage is unreal, while Surf does good damage as well. Unfortunately Dewgong goes down, but I have Lapras here. I had a particular strategy in mind, but Surf critical hits and I didn't even need to think about one. That's great! Blaine is defeated, but I have like 3 strong water types, he never stood a chance in the first place. I went for a little vacation on a Savvy Island. On 2 Island is a Pokemaniac who teaches long forgotten moves, and I want Protect against on Cloyster. On 1 Island is Mount Ember, and here's the best move available, Explosion. I teach it to Cloyster and hope for some style finishes later on. I nearly forgot to beat Sabrina in Saffron City. Let's defeat her real quick. The last gym leader already waits. I went for Lapras and Surf doesn't KO Kadabra, while Future Sight was set up. I went for another Surf and then Strength, and Kadabra was defeated. And next is Mr. Mime, and I went for Surf to see Calm Mind and then decided for Strength again, which did KO. Now comes Venomoth, and for some reason I switched for Ice Beam now, which would have been the best move on any Pokemon, but it's okay. Confusion via Psybeam, I love to see it. Not really, also hit myself first and then went for the KO. I thought I lost against Erika, Psychic hits and Lapras survives on 1 HP, snaps out of Confusion and activates Perish Song. That means I won no matter what. But I think it's so funny that Sabrina went for 2 Future Sight in a row just so Lapras wins with 2 Surf before Perish Song KOs. Sabrina's out of Pokemon and I don't know what to say here. So let's just move on to the next one. The last gym leader is Giovanni, but I think every single one of my team is good enough to beat him. Well, that's not entirely true, but it's close. Both Rhyhorns are down in one go, while Nidoqueen can tank a hit and hit back very strong. And Nidoking is even faster than Dewgong. But okay, I have more of that in my team, so Giovanni stood no chance. He is defeated and the last badge is mine, only the Elite Four is left to do. Before the next and last hurdle before the Elite Four, I grabbed the last remaining good items like TM Thunder and TM Protect at the power plant, TM Thunderbolt and Ice Beam at the game corner, and the TM for Rain Dance at Route 15. The rival at Route 22 was brutal. I didn't want to level up and see how far I can go with just this team, but the strategy requires a lot of luck. Exactly what I like. First up is Pidgeot against Cloyster, Ice Beam hits but barely doesn't KO. That was very unfortunate, but another one KOs the bird. Now comes Rhyhorn, but it is down with one Surf easily. Next is Execute, and one Ice Beam gets rid of it very strong. Here's Alakazam, the major headache, but Future Sight doesn't deal damage, while Explosion KOs easily. No Alakazam, no problems. I choose Lapras next. This way the rival chooses Gyarados. Ice Beam deals a bit of damage, but Rain Dance is used, that is quite nice, and I switch into Jynx just so that Future Sight hits and nearly KOs from full HP. That was crazy. One Psychic connects and reduces special defense, which is huge, but Jynx goes down. Lapras back in and one Ice Beam hits and crits for the KO. But the worst is yet to come. Charizard is here and I use Flamethrower. Under Rain deals an insane amount of damage and burns. But Lapras sticks around to use Perish Song. That move is just unfair, but I love it. Lapras now goes down, the count is at 2. Dewgong, my last Pokemon, is here. Wing Attack hits for good damage and I chose to use Rest, healing back to full. Count is 1 and Charizard needs a crit to win, but it just deals half and count goes to 0, defeating Charizard. The rival is defeated and finally the way to the Elite Four is open to me. Before I challenge the Elite Four, I need 2 more items. One is a Twisted Spoon from Abra, I don't know why I didn't get it earlier, and the other one is Magnet from Magnetorns. I actually needed an hour to get this one. Not sure if it was worth it. Just before starting the final battle gauntlet, I leveled everyone up to 45. Besides Articuno. It was already on 50, didn't even get some training in, so it's just vitamins. Hope it's enough, but let's begin. First Elite Four member is Lorelei, the water type specialist. Why water? Because I am the ice type one, of course. First Dewgong and I go with Lapras. Thunderbolt does slightly below half, so I use one Surf to put it into range and then finish it off with another Bolt. Next is Cloyster, and this one is more annoying than anything else. Protect and then going down to one Thunderbolt. Amazing. Against Slowbro I push for damage. That's a really good amount, but Yawn was used. I have no choice but to continue. Amnesia would be too devastating to see. Jynx is here and this will take an insane amount of time. I want Lapras to wake up and I know that Jynx doesn't really deal a lot of damage, so I can afford to take some time here. When Lapras wakes up, I switch into Dewgong. It can't get hit by Attract, making it a good answer. But after 2 serves, I have to decide on how to continue, while Sleep takes a lot of turns. I don't think another Surf KOs and I don't want full restore being used, so I use first Rain Dance and then try to KO, but Sleep hits again. And I hope to wake up before the rain stops. And Dewgong does so, defeating Jynx finally. Last is Lorelei's ace Lapras. I want Dewgong going down, but one crit is all it took. Choosing my Lapras again because of Perish Song. That move is way better than I first thought. If the opponent has only one left, it's amazing. After 2 more turns, my Lapras is down and Cloyster comes in to show a Cloyster classic, Protect. Count is 0 and Lorelei is out of Pokemon and the first Elite Four member is done. The next Elite Four member is Bruno. As one can imagine, his team is really bad against mine. I start with Jynx and Onix goes down easily. Hitmonchan seems to go down in one go as well. The second Onix goes down just like the first one, of course. Bruno's Ace Machamp might survive one hit, so lovely kills it is, and then 2 Psychics to KO. Works out perfectly. Last is Hitmonlee and it survived the Psychic, just to hit back with Mega Kick to destroy Jynx on the spot. I wanted to use Articuno just for fun and Aerial Ace did an amazing amount of damage. It has a plus attack nature and I gave it some protein. In hindsight, I'm not sure why. Bruno's defeated and the easiest battle is now over. Let's continue into the battle gauntlet. Here's the first real Elite Four member, Agatha. The rule is, if I am faster, this battle is easy, but if I'm not, oh boy. First is Gengar and I go with Jynx. I'm faster, Psychic hits and KOs. Good start. Against Golbat it's the same and the Flying Poison type is down. Even though Arbok has Intimidate, it doesn't do anything here before going down. Agatha's ace, Big Gengar is faster, uses Shadow Ball and Jynx is removed from the battle. I use Lapras next, but it's of course slower as well and Sludge Bomb hits while poisoning. I had a Shadow Berry equip, maybe the wrong choice. Surf does good damage, but I can only use 2 before going down, triggering the Citrus Berry, and I have Articuno here to finish it. Hypnosis missed, Ice Beam hits and Gengar is no more. Last is Haunter and Ice Beam hits and freezes. Wow, that was lucky in the end. I had a Lumberry, so one Hypnosis would be removed anyway. Agatha is defeated, and that means there are only 2 more battles left to do. The last Elite Four member is Lance, the Dragon type specialist, and will later become the Flying type specialist. Since I'm on Ice types, this battle is not too bad. I have Lapras with Thunderbolt for Gyarados, and when that one goes down, everyone else in my team is at an advantage against his. When Lapras goes down, I go for Cloyster, beating the rest of the team. Aerodactyl is dangerous for Ancient Power with maybe boosts, but Dragonair and Dragonite went down to Cloyster's Ice Beam. And that's it. Lance is defeated, the Elite Four is done, but the last battle for the title of champion is next. The final battle of the run is against the champion. His team is very strong, and the path to victory wasn't so clear to me until I realized one simple thing. But first is Pidgeot against Cloyster. I use Ice Beam, but it unfortunately doesn't KO. While Aerial Ace deals a bit of damage, and the full restore basically only delayed the inevitable. The freeze and then unfreeze was a bit funny. Next is Rhydon, but Silph KOs it maybe 2 or 3 times at this point. Now comes the Executor, and I switch into Articuno because it will always use Giga Drain. Ice Beam deals very good damage, but Light Screen is used to dampen it. I had the Chesto Berry for Sleep Powder, so it doesn't really matter what move it used. After wasting some turns, Executor goes down. Here comes the champion's ace, Charizard. I have Articuno, and it does have Pressure as the ability. And I can just use Protect to waste at least 2 PP. I use another one, but it doesn't matter if it works out or not, because Articuno is slower and would get KO'd either way. And the next Pokemon I choose is Cloyster, who also has Protect if 1 PP remained, but it didn't. I just spam Surfs until Charizard is defeated. And actually Charizard was able to KO Cloyster but decided against it. Using Slash over Aerial Ace, bad decision. Here is Alakazam, and it is faster to KO Cloyster with Psychic. I actually pressed on Explosion. I choose Jynx next and need Lovely Kiss to stick, while Psychic crits and takes over half of Jynx's HP. Alakazam, please stay asleep for 3 turns. Thank you very much. Last is Gyarados, and I could go for Lovely Kiss, but I went for Fake Tears to lower special defense harshly. Jynx goes down, and Lapras is now in the arena to deliver the devastating finishing blow, Thunderbolt. Gyarados is defeated. The champion looks for another Pokemon, but he is out of Pokemon, and the title of Kanto champion goes over to me, beating Fire Red with only Ice types. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any suggestions or advice, please let me know in the comments down below. Thank you for watching, and I see you in the next one.